And our first bit of news isn't movie news per se. It is movie tangential related. If you were watching the show yesterday, we had to stop the show a little short. We were running low, a little long on time. And one of the stories that we were going to talk about yesterday was about Disneyland, specifically Avengers Campus in Disneyland. Now, a lot of us haven't been to Disneyland for quite a while. Their doors have been closed for 8 months or something like that. We're rolling up pretty close to a year at this point, and which is actually kind of given builders and constructors the opportunity to finish completing and finish building some of these rides that they've been working on. Most predominantly have been Avengers Campus. Now, a lot of promotional photos like the one that you see here, a lot of these types of photos have been put out and saying, hey guys, we're building Avengers Campus in Disneyland. Now, previously, there had been a big rights issue between Disney and Universal Studios. Universal had the exclusive rights for rides. I mean, that's why at Universal Studios we see like the Hulk ride. There's the Doctor Doom drop. There's like the Spider-Man 3D kind of adventure ride kind of thing. Well, they finally were able to work these rights out, and whether they timed out or whether they worked out a deal, that is still a little unsure to me. But it is obvious Disneyland's California Adventure has been building an Avengers Campus for quite some time now. They have the Hank Pym Particle cafe boutique. There's a brand new Spider-Man ride that is promising to be very exciting. They already have the Guardians of the Galaxy droppy ride. I believe there's a second Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster being developed. There's an Iron Man ride. There's a Doctor Strange experience. All of these things are shaping up to be really, really incredible, you guys. And now, thanks to an Instagram, or rather a TikToker, I believe it's Magic. Oh, Discover.the-Magic. Thanks to Discover.the-Magic, we now have our first official look at what some of the lighting systems in the park might look like. Now, I'm not entirely sure how Discover.the-Magic was able to get some of these images, but it looks like they're standing fairly close outside to the perimeter of where they were allowed to be, either in the park, around the park. But we have our first official look as to what some of the lighting effects are going to look on site. Now, as I say, this is not going to be our first full look. This is a first look. There's still plenty of time for them to perfect things and get things smoothed over and worked over. Now, we know a lot of these rides are going to be high octane. They're going to be very interesting, obviously very thematic with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They might have a few surprises. Obviously, they're not going to be dropping spoilers in any of the rides, like for the movie or where the story for the films are going to go. But they are going to work hand in hand with each other and bring us, as Disney usually does, A-class entertainment. Now, Irene, I know that you are a huge Disneyland file. I think you said you used to go all the time. Those are your old stomping grounds. I've been twice. I've been to Disneyland twice. I usually go to Disney World twice a year, but it's very rare that I get out to Disneyland. You're familiar with the landscape much better than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to go to the Guardians of the Galaxy ride last year. 2019. Before the pandemic hit. So the Guardians of the Galaxy ride is off the charts. That was incredible. But they were still in the early stages of building Avengers Campus. As someone who is familiar with the park, as someone who is familiar with the landscape, and also, the films and the culture regarding the MCU and surrounding the MCU, how does this strike you? What are you excited for? Does this lighting look like anything you expect it to look like? What's your knee-jerk reaction here?
Yeah, well, so, as you were saying, Disney World is huge, right? And Disneyland can only kind of encompass a certain area. The city has grown around.
They have a finite amount of space.
Yeah. And so I remember being a kid, and there was all these parking spots, and then they took over the parking spot to make California Adventure. And when it came out, it was a little like, meh, people weren't that thrilled with it. So they had to make a lot of adjustments. They did the Toy Story ride. Twilight Zone dropped at the
So good.
time, right? So good. Which obviously I haven't been I haven't been to Disneyland in a long time. Like me, sadly, even though that was a place I was at all the time when I was in high school, I would go every Friday. So, but yeah, my point being is that of course they have to like change that whole California Adventure probably every 10
Sure,
years
yeah.
or so to kind of make it an exciting new part of the park. So this Avenger campus is going to be just, I think, a really good thrill thing because also that part of the park is tiny
It
compared to
is,
the
yeah.
rest,
Yeah.
and yet it's the same price
They're
to
going to
get
be
in there.
squeezing a
So
lot of stuff in a very small area. Now, you had mentioned like how Guardians of the Galaxy droppy ride used to be the Tower of Terror, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. I am a massive fan of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. And when I heard that they were changing it into Guardians of the Galaxy, my reaction was boo, boo. And then I rode the ride.
agreed.
Then I rode the ride. It is incredible.
Yeah.
It is. It's hard to say because it's in concept. It's the same ride, but the way that they've amped up the images, the way that they have redecorated the entire sets, and they've also
Yeah.
changed the algorithms for how you drop and rise and fall and all that stuff. They've changed those algorithms entirely, and just to have this incredible Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack blaring in your ears as you're dropping and
Yeah.
falling, it's exciting. It's fun. Whereas the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror is more, it's more fear based. It has this whole atmospheric approach to it that's very different. And I love that we have two versions. They're not getting rid of Twilight Zone Tower of Terror in Florida.
Yeah.
They're keeping that one intact, but I love that we now have two versions of the same ride, and it's glorious.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I mean. It's like they had to change that ride. They have to, everything in that part of the park, I think, is very malleable to kind of adapt into the next thing. And so to have Avengers Campus is going to be great for that whole area. And it, I mean, who doesn't want to be an Avenger,
Who
man? Who
doesn't?
doesn't want
Now,
that?
based on the images that we saw of the TikTok video that Discover the Magic posted on TikTok, it doesn't look like the lighting is completed yet. And even if it is, these are outsider photos, kind of showing what from their angle, from their perspective, what they can see. So, do you think that based on what we currently are able to see from this TikTok account, that this is going to be indicative of something great, or do you think it's a little letting down a little bit?
I don't know. I think when you only have half of the story, you can't tell. You won't be able to
Yeah.
know. Because I think it's gonna be cool. Like Disney puts on amazing light shows forever. I can still think of the electric parade from when I was a kid and being awed by that.
It's true.
I could play that song like over and over, and now I can because Alexa lets me. Um, but yeah, I mean, so they have smart lighting designers. I think it's going to be really great. There's probably going to be more purple that we can't see. We can kind of only see blue, right? That's all I
Currently,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, purple fancy. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be great.
All fair points, but the question is for you guys: what do you think of this first look at Disneyland's Avengers Campus? Does it get you excited? Are you planning on going when Governor Gavin Newsom opens up all of the theme parks? Are you going to go back? Are you going to wait a while? Is this something that you are looking forward to, or are you just like, meh, I'm over it? Parks are the parks, and we've all done the parks before. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Jump on down into the comment section below and let me know what those are. All right, hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Tony Stark's Iron Man would want you to do.